Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's well. All right. So, obviously, we're going to be talking about saltwater sumps today. Give it a few minutes here and let some more people roll in. I don't know how many are. We already at 17 people, so that's pretty rad. I didn't write anything down or collect any material for this. We're just going off my head this time. So, it's pretty simple, in all honesty. All right. Looks like we got S, Melissa, Vibes, Mystery Snail Guardians, Matt, Liquid Zoo, ABC Aquatic Biotope Creations. How's it going, man? Gina, Moose Cow, Dream Fish Keeping, Bunny Viper, Mississippi Hippie, Xanadu, Mark Sterilson, Sarah J, Mexicali, Atkins. Oh, you're good, man. I just started, really. I'll let everybody sit there and listen to the elevator music for a few minutes. Damn straight. Speaking of which, Gina, do you mind if I use your picture of your sump that you sent me as an example? I'm using mine too. Thank you, thank you. That's the one at your work, right? Caged Aquatics. No worries. Appreciate you being here. Yep, we're looking at Gina's pipes. Need sump inspiration. All right. Well, this should help. Maybe. Might maybe make your head a little hurt a little bit, but we'll make it as simple as we can. What is the hashtag at the bottom scrolling? You will have to talk to Mystery Snow Guardians about that. Just keep your eye out in May. That's all I'm gonna say. Biggest hashtag you gotta worry about is May. $250-gallon display tank. Yep. Have the extra large fish in it. Heck yeah. Yeah, she's got mysteries in her shell. Give it a couple more minutes here. Solve mystery. Yep. 20 people. Heck yeah. Yeah. I just did water changes and script tanks all day. That is all I did. What did you guys do today? Anything interesting? All right, Gina. Hey, Brooklyn. How you doing tonight, Jake? Right. Well, like I said, we're going to be talking about saltwater sumps tonight. I'm not going to go too crazy into detail in it like I did last time we talked about sumps. I'll let you guys kind of defer to that for a lot of it because, to be honest, there's not a whole lot different. Um, you're just using those chambers in the sump for different things. And a lot of times the sumps that people buy are made for saltwater anyways. And they're using it for freshwater tanks. So the biggest difference there is pressure. Much pressure is flowing through them pipes. In a saltwater system, um, you're gonna have a lot more pressure in your system in those pipes. So first rule of thumb that I always go by, if it's a saltwater sump, it's got to be hard PVC. Or I mean, you can use the flexible PVC when you absolutely can't use anything else. But I like making that extra or going that extra step there and just going hard. I just use a bunch of unions. Um, and really, you're setting it up the same way. If you want something simple, you're going to set it up the same way. You're just going to make sure you have like a little extra area for protein skimmer and maybe some reactors, calcium reactor, all sorts of different stuff. So I'm going to show you an example of my sump. Shit here. Maybe. All right. Now, right here, um, look down here in the bottom, over here on the right's where my water comes in. It comes down the flow pipe down the back there and into the filter socks. Goes through the filter socks, up and over and into our refugium here with a bunch of macroalgae, and I have a bunch of media and stuff down on the bottom. In this same refugium, with the skimmer that I have, I was able to put the skimmer inside the refugium as well, and where it's worked out pretty nicely. This is running a 300-gallon tank. Um, Next to it, I've got a media reactor, a bunch of little itty bitty bio balls, carbon reactor, and then there's also on the far left over here UV sterilizer. I do have the setups up there to hook up a calcium reactor as well if I need it. So that's always nice. And this little basket here is just kind of like a mesh basket that my pump sits in. So it's not getting any of this algae or anything in there with it. It just pumps back up and into the tank. Above it, I just got some decent some old saltwater lights that I had hanging around the shop. And that's what's growing all my macros. So it looks elaborate, but it's really not. It's just the hookups up at the top. I set it up like that because I like how uniform it looked. There's a bunch of unions and stuff up there. It's really simple to take apart. Now, we'll get to that in a second. Um, Now, most you just now realize that, Matt? But yeah, like I said, most sumps that you're going to find, or most people are buying, unless they know what they're looking for and actually buy a freshwater sump, they're going to be the same thing. So they have a little area you can put, like I said, your protein skimmer and stuff. You don't have to have a refugium. You don't have to. I just like to have them because it helps a bit. It helps keep your nitrates and all your bios in check there a little better. So that's why I have it in there, because I keep a lot of corals in there. It just helps that little extra bit. Now, basic sump for some decent corals and stuff like that. I just make sure it had an extra baffle in there, enough area for protein skimmer, and a bunch of media and everything else. Stuff it full of live rock. It's always worked great for me. Shit, I took my picture down. Another thing that I like to do is make overflow reservoirs, or some way to vent out water in case the system shuts down due to a power failure or something like that. You can incorporate battery backups and stuff like that, of course. But in this one, what I did here is, if it gets up too far, there's a little float valve in the back there behind this stuff. And if the water level gets up too high, it'll kick on. And this little tank you see up here on the right will start filling up full of water. And it's hooked up to a battery backup. So if power fails and I get a siphon, but which I shouldn't, because I have a one-way valve over here, right, connected to this side of the UV sterilizer. So it shouldn't go back down the outtake. So as long as the water level is only draining down to where I have the overflow on top of the tank, it should only fill up about halfway. So a power failure or not, that water is not overflowing out of that tank at all. And you don't have to have that. Just the way I have this sump set up, and what I have going on here, I felt safer putting it or doing it this way. Most sumps, you're able to gauge it and set it up to where you just account for the water level. You kind of test it out, see how far up that, or like, unplug your tank, see how far it fills up, or your sump fills up before it hits the bottom of the overflow and starts draining into the sump. Usually, you're only going to lose about that much water out of your tank. Obviously, the bigger the tank, the more water that's going to be. But as long as you account for that in the sump there, you're not filling it to the brim, your sump, you're going to be fine. It's a little bit less prone to overfilling or overflowing, especially if you're adding one-way stops or one-way valves. Like Ochart was talking about this morning on the morning show. He showed some there. I live by them, union valves and one ways. So no matter if it's fresh water, salt water, whatever, I advise using them. The only thing is, with the larger saltwater tanks, you kind of got to watch it, because the pressure for those one ways won't be as much as like a piece of 80 PVC. So you just kind of got to watch it, really pick out, or really figure out or what's going on with your one ways, or what they're made out of, and if they're going to withstand the pressure going through those tubes. That's some of the biggest things I can stress there for overflowing a tank and whatnot. Do you guys have any questions about anything I've said so far before I continue on here? Jesus. Hard pipe is good pipe. Damn straight. Yeah, damn straight. Well, it appears to not be going so great so far. Well, what the hell? What stand are you using for your 40? Go on. Hmm. Yeah, it was a good stream. It's a pretty common mistake. I've even done it. It happens. I'm not going to be able to pull the protein skimmer that I put in this 55 out after I get everything hooked up and set. Big old octopus. Yeah. For a 40, a 20 long is a good, a good bet, I'd say. And like I said, we're not going to be delving into it too deep, but um, the general basics of setting up a sump are going to run for saltwater just as well as saltwater, like we went over in the last sump stream. Um, so if you want to defer back to that for a lot of the basics and stuff, the general setup and whatnot, I showed quite a few pictures and stuff too, overflows and all sorts of stuff. Kelly Foreman, Eric Wyrock. Hope you guys are doing good. Yellowstone. Rob's Aquarium. Welcome. I'm gonna throw the link up to the stream here. Only if you've set up a sump. We'll go with that tonight. So, for people who have set up a sump and would like to come up and chit chat with me, come on up. I should still have that email. ABC. We gotta pull it up here. Oh, yeah, there we go. I'll pull that up in a minute. Hmm. Built a stand for my 15-gallon cube tank out of a center box and a square stepping stone and covered it with black wood grain colored contact paper. Hmm. Actually sounds pretty cool. Heck yeah, Kelly. You're going to have a lot of fun with it. You're going to have a lot of fun with it. I just find it a lot easier to maintain parameters and sustain a tank longer with a sump, personally. Overall.
Oh, ABC didn't beat me up here?
Stephen P., welcome.
Costume change from an hour ago. I'm a Bulbasaur now.
Oh, shit. That's funny. And I stand out in my living room, actually, with my 3'75" center box 2x4s and like a black table.
I was gonna say, Adkins, you can easily find YouTube videos how to make your own stand. It's just learning where to put like the extra like metal brackets for support. And using enough 2x4s and stuff to hold all that weight. My fish sensei builds all of his own stands. It just sucks because wood's expensive now.
Yeah, very true. Understandable, Kelly. And cool thing with sumps, like depending on how you set it up, like I clean my like a lot of mine with just a python or a water siphon.
Eric, Stephen P. It's Stephen VIP in my book.
Especially for freshwater systems. Super simple. Take a couple 5-gallon buckets, empty 5-gallon buckets, and then put a little bit of tank water in there. And then take all your media out and put it in those buckets. And then all of your malm and everything that's settled into the bottom of your sump is now just sitting down there. Before you do this, you're going to want to turn your sump off so it's not just sucking right up into your tank. But let it settle and you can suck all that malm and nasties out of the bottom there, put all your media back in. That's it. That's pretty much it with a freshwater system. There he is.
Hey.
Hey. I actually wasn't going to come up until you said something about me not beating you up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm coming up.
Well, I figured you had already been up here because of my comment, or on your way up because of my comment. I left my tripod out in my dining room. So I was expecting you to already be up when I popped up, but...
No. I was like, I'm just going to hang out for this one. But I decided against it.
She pushed you.
You provoked me.
Let me top off my tank really quick because it's bubbling. It just started bubbling, and then I can show off all my equipment and everything. Hold on.
You're good. Here's Kenny's sump.
Kind of.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. Well, that didn't help at all.
Can you make it full screen? Like the picture?
That is full screen.
Oh, something happened.
Oh, there it goes. I figured it out. See, that's pretty much what mine looks like, but not as long. And mine sits up higher, and the lip of the wood comes down a ways.
Yeah, and that's all Schedule 80 PVC that I painted red.
Yeah. That's about the only thing I use is Schedule 80.
Mm-hmm. And the sump itself was a 60 breeder. And there's a good look at it. So that's a map.
Trying to read what it says there.
That's a Diablo XS 350.
Okay. Badass fucking protein skimmer, man.
What's that?
A pretty badass protein skimmer. They work well.
That protein skimmer, I think, was rated for up to 800 gallons on a heavily stocked tank.
Heck yeah. And there's no refugium in that, right?
Nope, it's just a protein skimmer,
Media.
and then a carbon reactor and a GFO reactor.
Yeah.
GFO is granular ferric oxide, removes phosphates and nitrates.
What lights are those?
So that the ones that are on are just like the generic black box 165 watt LEDs.
Okay.
But then that I also had four T8s that were retrofitted into the hood to run actinic lighting off of the T8 bulbs.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So I had some hybrid lighting going on, T5 or T8 and LED.
It works well going that route, honestly.
Yeah.
Where are
But
we
yeah,
at?
that was my 265 mixed reef.
Yeah, and that works well too, sir. Especially for smaller tanks.
Yeah. I mean, I had a 15 gallon nano reef that the only filtration I had on that was an Aqua Clear 70 that was a hang on the back, and it had some of the nylon pot scrubbers in it for biological filtration.
Did a little test. I did one with no filtration, and I had a bunch of acropora and stuff in there, but I did water changes twice a day.
Yeah, I did. So the nano reef, it was only 15 gallons, and I did a 5 gallon water change weekly,
Yeah.
and I had I think 7 different species of acropora and millipora in there.
Yeah. Yeah, a
And
little
then
5-gallon. I got
yeah.
through about 7 or 8 months, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing this no more. I mean, that was every day, 2 water changes a day.
Yeah,
That was a
that's
big old pain in the dig. But it was fun. I kept everything alive.
yeah.
Can build my own stand if I wanted to, but I don't have the time or the energy to make one. I just want to buy one. You're gonna pay a good sum for it, or pay a good sum for it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't bring myself to buy an aquarium stand when I know I can make one for half the price.
Yep. Yep.
Or even less than half the price.
Yeah.
Some of those aquarium stands are almost as much as a new fish tank.
Oh shit! Like at Pet Supply, 55-gallon tank, $150. Tank is $250, or the stand is $250.
Mm-hmm. Stephen P.
Yeah. Like I was saying, how similar it is to a freshwater system. Look at Kenny's tank there. Take out the protein skimmer, and it's a freshwater sump. You're good to go.
Yeah, it was a very basic sump design. Just because I didn't feel like I needed a refugium on there.
Right.
I didn't have anything that really required like copods and stuff.
Right.
Some of the dragonettes.
And like my favorite way to build a refugium is just simple chaetomorphy algae.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. And usually just the flow of the sump itself rotates it all nice and pretty.
Yeah, Chaeto is one of the fastest growing macroalgae.
Yeah.
Clerpa grows really fast too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But just a simple bare bottom refugium with a bunch of chaetomorphia floating around is the simplest and best way I found it.
Yeah.
Actually, Ian, wood prices have actually come down quite a bit recently.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember
40-gallon, you're not going to need too much.
No.
4 or 5 pieces of 8-foot 2x4 should do you.
Yeah, and 2x4s came down from, I think they were up to like 15 something for an 8-footer.
Mhm.
Last I checked, they're about $7 an 8-footer now.
Yeah, I'll have to go check. It's been a little bit. So I need to
Yeah.
get this rack built up on this wall here. Shit's driving me nuts with all these tanks sitting around.
You'd be surprised how little you need for a 40-gallon tank.
Mm-hmm.
Is the load bearing rating for a 2x4 standing on end at 30 inches is 800 pounds.
Yep.
So one
Per-
2x4 can support 800 pounds
Yep. That's
at
per
30
leg.
inches standing upright.
Yep.
Not that I'm saying build a stand at a 2x4.
If you can, fucking props.
Yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah, that's what
I ordered
my
a stand from a store and it looks fantastic. Heck yeah, Kelly. Why you'll have to show us that sometime.
Yeah, that's what my fish sensei does. He builds all of his own stands, just to make sure he has room for all of his equipment and all that stuff, and make sure it's like a couple inches taller than a normal stand, just to make sure there's enough room for that skimmer head and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only
he just-
tanks that I have that
it's
I
just
haven't
2x4s.
built were the racks that I got from Petco a while back.
Yeah, I see, and it's just 2x4s. That's all he uses is just 2x4s, and then he
I use
paints it.
4x4s a lot too.
Yeah, more than 4x4s, and then he just paints them, and they look amazing.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, the 180 behind me and the stand next to it, I built both of those.
My quarantine racks that's got 65 gallons on each. It's all 2x6s. That's all it is. 2x6s and fucking lag bolts. And it holds all that up. There's nothing supporting the middles of those tanks either. It's just two like 15-inch pieces of 2x6 lag bolted to the other 2x6s, and each end is sitting on those 2-inch pieces. That's it. There's nothing supporting the middle of that tank or nothing. That thing's been up for 7 years.
Yeah, actually the 265, the reef tank that you were showing my sump on, I built that stand and canopy, and that was, I mean, I didn't even use 2x4s in that. I used 1-inch plywood.
Yeah. Here's a good look of like my racks. All right, guys, a little quick tour of my quarantine room here. With the 2 special saltwater, all bare bottom, specifically for quarantine. These big racks built myself here, 60-gallon saltwater tanks. Some pistos, all sorts of stuff here. Some breeding angels. Here's the other rack that I was talking about. The old flower horns. Some star sapphires up top there. Rack of OBs. Another pretty pair of OBs. See here. This is my fry crow out in quarantine as well. All that. Let me get on the big old sump. Let me get over to this. Now, so far, see how those are sitting there? And they sit just fine like that. Huh?
Jesus, that's a lot of tanks.
That was my quarantine room before I moved to the new shop.
That's what my breeding room's gonna look like soon.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I'm gonna do racks, see how all those 10s were sitting. I'm gonna kind of do that, but I'm gonna build it to hold to a 40 breeder, but it'll also hold like 29s and shit too. I'm gonna put
Nice.
make the shelving so it's got a nice flat surface instead of just 2x4 long. So I can put whatever on it. I'm gonna have it going all the way up to the ceiling though. You probably can, Atkins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the getting it done part is usually the hardest.
Yeah.
It is, but honestly, I have so much fun putting it all together. Once you actually start putting it all together, you get all into it, and you're like,
Yeah.
And it's so satisfying when you're done too, and you stand back and you're like, I fucking did that myself.
mm-hmm.
And the fun thing about my stands, both of these 180 stands behind me is I built them completely out of scrap wood.
Yeah.
So it was all leftover lumber from job sites that I've worked at and stuff. So I'm a whore for scrap wood. Honestly. Like
I do it too. I'm not gonna lie.
my garage is full of plywood and 2x4s and 1x8s and 1x6s and
Your fucking driftwood and
yeah.
all my wood carving wood that I've collected. Too much goddamn wood.
I do masonry work, do stonework on like most of the Stewart shops, which I don't know if you guys know what a Stewart's is, but it's a little gas station convenience store thing, but it's a big chain here on the East Coast, and but so we have a contract with them where we do all of their new stores, and we'll get there like right after the framers are done framing and shit. So all the they're pulling down all the extra 2x4 supports and stuff. I'm like, yo, what do you guys do with those? Like, oh, throwing them out. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna put all that right on top of my car and strap it down.
Right.
Okay. Hey, Leo. Yep, that is very true, Brooklyn. Very true. Now, like, all right, Gina,
Yeah.
what were some issues that you ran into putting together your sump?
Well, I had help from a very experienced customer of mine. So he's been in the hobby for like 30 years. So he's already gone through all the trial and error. So it was pretty much the plan that he really likes, like his blueprints that he kind of has tweaked throughout the years. So he put in the glass walls. He siliconed it for me. And then I took the 40 breeder over to his house and he showed me and Nathan how to drill it.
Okay.
What his method is for drilling. But so pretty much just, I made cabinets for the front and the one side so you can't see the sump. So just drilling that into the metal frame because it's the metal frame. It's the metal Petco frame for the 40 breeder.
Okay.
We just drilled it in.
This is not the sump she's talking about, by the way. I'm just pulling it up.
That's like a Cadillac of sumps right there. So actually, funny about that sump, or not funny, but what's really cool about that sump is that the actual sump is acrylic, and we had a local custom acrylic maker, and that's the second to last sump he made before he retired.
Dang, that's pretty cool. Yeah, all those the sumps that run my all my 65s in the quarantine room are custom made acrylics too. They're just simple saltwater sumps or freshwater sumps. God damn.
So that tank actually used to be in a customer's house.
Okay.
And then she just
a big old UV sterilizer.
Yeah. So she just wanted to get out of it, so we took the tank and the whole system back along with all the fish.
Heck yeah. The joys of owning a fish store. I see the rollers there.
Yeah, so this system uses rollers instead of socks. So it has the whole Apex system underneath there. So yeah,
I figured it did. I was looking at all the wires.
Well, in the first picture is the actual like home unit for the Apex.
Yep.
It's actually that bar in the middle, just to the left of it. That's the main Apex computer, the little tower. So there's a sensor with those rollers. So if it senses that wherever the water is hitting it is getting clogged, then it just turns, and it's like it does its own like stock change, if you will. And once it's full, then you get an alert on your phone that they need to be replaced.
Yep. This is like she was saying in Cadillac or something. This is all the. It's fully loaded, pretty much. So
It is. It has, like the Neptune Apex system in there. The dosing pumps right there on the left side. All the dosing pumps for the
which
everything.
tethers right into the Apex system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had my 265. I had the older model Apex Neptune system on it, and I really liked it. And honestly, when they changed the style of it, I wasn't a fan. Like I didn't like the new style of the Apex the way it looked. It just like kind of turned me off.
You turn the lights on,
Not
so
very often I get to, or I have a customer that wants to pay the money for stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I have a couple that do, but not very many. So, but
yeah.
personally, I don't care to run sumps like that because I can do the same damn thing with.
Yeah.
my bucket.
Another thing I didn't think of is like when you're showing the pictures of my sump for the 265. One thing I didn't point out is the fact that there's a 80-watt gamma UV sterilizer on it as well. But it's painted red and white to match the piping and everything else.
Right. What are some issues you ran into setting that bad thing up?
I don't think I ran into any issues really, honestly. 'Cause at that point, I had about 8 years into saltwater hobby at that point. So it's like I've built several sumps before that, so that one was pretty well planned out and stuff. And the only issues I've run into in the past were undersizing a sump for a tank, and obviously losing power and flooding my apartment or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely crucial is sizing your sump right appropriately
Yeah,
for the
and
tank.
you honestly, you don't even really have to size it right. It's all about the water level in the sump to account for overflow or drainage in the event of a power outage.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is where my water comes in, goes through the sock. I have it tied to this pipe because it's ratchet and ghetto rigged. Let me sit on the ground. So it comes in here, goes through the sock. My heater is right there. Here's my heater. This is the Simplicity protein skimmer. I believe it's the 120. I have it on a little light diffuser box that I had to make it at the right level. To put the water level right where it's supposed to be. And then my refugium, I actually have it blacked out. I have black pond sealant that I painted in the glass to block it out so algae wouldn't grow in all the other chambers where it's not supposed to go. Oh, I need to clean this out. Jesus.
And to answer your question, Leo, it is not very hard at all to drill a tank. And also for a refugium, you leave that light on most of the time.
Yeah. So this is actually a $25 terrestrial plant light. I didn't want to get fancy and spend $200 for a tiny light. Yeah, here's all my macro. I have the green leaf lettuce, and some caulerpa, red caulerpa down there. I had to put this light diffuser here to keep it from going into the return pump. So this is just some polyfill. This pipe is my carbon reactor, my media reactor. So, yep, and then my return pump is there. So then it returns up to this pipe, and then it tees off here. So if I wanted to do or attach anything later, that's what this end is for. And there's a gate valve there to block it. This is my, oh gosh, there we go. This is my second overflow. So on an overflow box, I have two pipes that come out of it. This is like if the overflow box overflows, this is to keep it from like spilling over onto the floor. It goes down this pipe and into the sump.
Heck yeah. Always good to have a backup.
Yeah, let me get up and go to the side where all the controls are. And I painted this myself.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Thanks. I had my nephew come over. I mean, he helped me splatter paint it. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm getting too old for this shit. Okay. Let go.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, here's my carbon reactor from Bulk Reef Supply. There's my DJ switch. I have everything labeled.
Now, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Is there a reason you run carbon as opposed to GFO?
I usually do both. Right now I
Okay.
only have carbon because my phosphates actually got pretty under control. But yeah, if my phosphates run high, then I just do like this much GFO this much GFO and then the rest carbon.
Yeah.
I do a mixture too.
This is the control for the protein skimmer. This is for my return pump. My gate valve for my overflow box. I'll have to get up and get better
Is it
lighting
a
on
drilled
that.
overflow box or is it a hang-on?
No, it's a drilled. So that's what we drilled the tank for, was for the overflow box. Because it came with its own drill bit.
What
And
brand is that Overflow?
I don't remember.
I really like the Synergy Reef ones.
This is for, what is this? Oh, this is my return pump control. And then my Inkbird temperature control.
Yeah. Leo, just don't push very hard. And you shouldn't really have to worry about cracking it. And use water.
So yeah, here's my overflow. Don't mind the salt creep. Don't judge me. So yeah, so you can actually see that there is a little, it's right up that red pipe right there is that overflow spillage safety. So it is right at that level. So I would go to this gate valve and just kind of tweak it a little bit and it should go down. I went the wrong way. There we go.
I see it creeping down there a little bit.
Yeah. Open it a little bit more. There he goes. Yeah. You can't let it get too low though. Whenever it starts to get about here is whenever it starts getting noisy.
Yep.
Usually want it about there, where just a little bit of that red pipe is exposed, but not too much. And yeah. Oh, and my light. Again, don't judge me. I put stuff on top of it, even though I shouldn't.
I think most of us do.
The Photon V2. So it has all the light spectrum. You can customize whatever color is on there. Intensities and all that stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's my setup.
Nice.
My camera's going to freak out because I don't have the lens on it.
CJ pumps are all right, Leo. But for the price that you can get some of the other pumps for and the quality of them, there's other stuff I'd probably pick before that.
And I'm back. Yep.
Right.
So,
Yes.
I've got something that I could probably send to you if you want it.
I like stuff. Oh, yeah. We sell those at work, and I've even thought about getting it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I won't say no.
I don't use it, and I got it for free. So I mean, I don't have any filter socks for it, but it takes the 4-inch round filter socks.
Oh, okay.
Which it looks like that's what you're using anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I actually just bought some new whoopsie, dropped my remote. I just got some more drawstring ones from work. It's funny because I ordered them yesterday. I added them to the store list, and my boss was reviewing it because I'm still like trying to get out of that corporate mindset of having 4 or 5 items on a shelf.
Yeah.
And all that. Like, no, we only need like 2 items on the shelf. And even some, just 1 is fine. I'm like, okay. I'm sorry. I'm used to having a whole back room of overstock. But But yeah, he saw the filter socks. He goes, "What the fuck are those?" I'm like, "They're for me. I'm gonna buy them when they come in." He goes, "Oh, why'd you get drawstring?" I'm like, "Cause I tie it to the pipe." I'm like, I know. I know.
Yeah, I'd be happy to send that to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I still haven't gotten an update on your vape juice though.
Clearly, I've got some.
You leave the sump light on all day? Yes, because no, I do not have an Apex Adkins. I'm not there yet. Do I keep the sump light on all day? Yes, because my nitrates are still high. So I'm leaving it on until I get my nitrates under control. Did you do an over the top return or I drilled it, yeah. So the overflow box came with the drill bit. You can either buy it with the drill bit or just the box.
That's nifty.
And I was telling Danny Weshy that I'm like, if you get the same brand that I got and the same size, just get the overflow box because I have the drill bit.
Right.
Save a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
You
Sure.
can also buy like the whole kit of various size glass drill bits on Amazon for like $13.
Right. Are any of you into macroalgae? So my tank did have a bunch of macroalgae, and then I bought 2 tangs that I'm growing out for my father-in-law, and they ate it all.
Yeah, I got
I
a
used
bunch of different kinds of macroalgae, Kelly.
All of it.
I used to breed dwarf seahorses, and I had them in a 32-gallon biocube that was just live rock and various macroalgae.
Heck yeah.
It was really pretty. And it was crazy because I was taking out handfuls like every week. I was having to trim it down because it was starting to shade some of the corals. But I'm excited to add. I tried to save as much as I could, and it's down in the refugium. So once I get the tangs out and give them to my father-in-law, then yeah, I'm gonna be replanting all that macro.
Heck yeah.
Did a macro, and then I got a crab. Yeah, I need to get rid of those 2 large female emerald crabs because they're mean. They chase after me. Never been chased by an emerald crab before.
Yeah, when they get big, they get pretty ballsy.
Atkins, I thought I emailed that to you, the whole list of everything I got. I thought I included the overflow box, but if I didn't, then I can, after the stream's over, then I can look it up and send it to you. I'm pretty sure I got it off bulk reef supply.
That's a very vague question because there's a whole hell of a lot you can keep in a 125. Some
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't go with anything smaller than 75 gallons.
Yep.
You consider high nitrates, and do you chase the number? Chase the number, or just as long as it's below a certain number? Some of my corals like nitrates, but I don't want to let it get them high.
You see, my nitrate. Let me go test my nitrates. Hold on.
What was the question?
What do you consider high nitrates, and do you chase numbers?
I go by a 20 ppm rule. If it's over 20 ppm, it's too much. It's just like a general rule of thumb that I use.
That's basically what I did too. But I tried to keep mine around 20 because I had a crap ton of zoanthids, and they love nitrates. They like dirtier water, and they thrive in it. So I kept mine between 18 and 22 usually.
Yep. It's not hard to. I don't really chase it. I just kind of test it, and if it's run a little high, I'll top it off with some RO. Usually balances it out. If it's too bad, I'll do a good water change. Yeah, 20 is like the max I go.
Yeah,
Depends on what I'm keeping.
any higher than that, and you start to get cyano and everything else, and
Yep.
it'll turn into a mess real quick.
Yeah.
You say that you're way
Have a good
over.
night, Leo.
I did have a cyano problem though, but I fixed it. But my nitrates, I'm gonna say it now. Mine are stupid high. So I am not an example. Don't do what I do, or don't let yours get as bad as mine is. Do what I do, like.
Don't use these guys as a complete rule of thumb. Use them multiple different people, but Bulk Resupply has a lot of really good videos that spit out a lot of great information.
Yeah, they have a whole series on setting up saltwater tanks, and is geared towards beginners.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, they advertise a lot of their own products and stuff, but even then, like a lot of the products are pretty freaking nice, and they're cheaper than you'll find a lot of other places.
Yeah.
But like I said, just like freshwater, don't only use them as one source of information for all. Kind of expand out a little bit from there.
But on YouTube, I believe their channel is BRS TV.
Yep.
And they'll dog on, like, if something new, if they find something better, they'll admit it. They're like, yeah, we used to love this, but now this. Crabs are crabby. Yeah. I have a little enamel pen that I wore to work today. It's a blue crab and it's holding a knife. It was just one of those days.
We have an emoji on the nerd server that's a crab holding a knife. I think it's on my other Discord too.
Adkin says it's not on the list. Okay, I must have forgotten.
Why am I not on any of these Discords?
I spit out my link every stream, man. So I don't know. We do watch parties and shit. We had the first one last week.
I love Discord. I use it for Pokemon Go, and I use it for Father Fish. I'm on Father Fish's Discord.
So,
yeah, I'm on his too.
Aren't as bad as I thought, because
here's a link to it. I just posted it in chat.
That would already be turning colors if it was as bad as it used to be. So yeah, I guess Refugium light on his work.
I'll have to watch the replay and grab that link.
Yeah, I can send it to you too.
He always posts it right before he ends the stream.
Okay.
So you can go to the end. Yeah, Bahama Llama. Remy is he's actually a radio DJ here in St. Louis. He's on the radio.
So more talk about sumps, keeping with the
theme.
Brennan. What are some problems you've run into setting up sumps or building your own sump?
For me, it's a little different because I've worked with so many.
Yeah.
It just depends on the sump itself, what you got going, what you're keeping. When it comes to freshwater, most of the problem that I see is during setup. Just mix matching parts, and the same thing goes for saltwater. You're gonna do the same thing for saltwater, but mix matching parts and just getting wrong parts.
Yeah,
different or the wrong size fitting or tube piping or whatever. That seems to be the biggest problem that I run to, and I've noticed other people run into. Besides that, sizing the sump appropriately, so it's not just dumping on your floor when power runs out and stuff like that.
I think another thing I had an issue with when I first started building my own sumps and stuff is using glass tanks with acrylic baffles.
Yeah.
That just it doesn't work because silicone does not stick to acrylic very well.
Yep.
And I've blown out so many baffles trying to build glass sumps with acrylic baffles. So I was like, time to start learning how to cut glass and shit. But I'm pretty well versed at cutting glass now. So, but a lot of that came from originally from building sumps for a lot of my saltwater tanks that I've had in the past.
Yep, that's what I always had to do too, because I was never able to afford $300-400 even back then for a nice brand new sump.
Yeah.
So I'm baffled because this, like a month ago, was turning dark orange. So I either messed this up or my nitrates are like damn near good.
Hopefully they're damn near good. And
Pretty yellow. I'm gonna redo it because I don't trust myself.
Well, by the looks of it, you had a shit ton of macro in that refugium there.
Yeah, I should probably take some of it out.
I would leave it right now if your nitrates are good. Take some out in a week.
Well, I need to at least take out what's floating on the top because it's gonna choke out the caulerpa that's underneath it.
Oh yeah, probably. Good point.
I want to do 0 DIY for my tank. You can do that too, as long as you got the money for it. And it's always nice to go that route too. Looks nice. Looks real nice most of the time.
Yeah, I just about a year ago now I set up a 125 or excuse me a 120 reef for a buddy of mine, and he has very little knowledge about fish keeping in general, and he wanted a reef tank, and I'm like, I mean, this is a lot of work, and you're gonna learn probably the hard way, even with me helping you.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he's lost, probably a couple $1,000 worth of coral at this point. Because I'm not there every day to help him take care of it and whatever. But he did the same thing. He didn't want to do any DIY, and so we bought him a sump. I forget what brand it was. It was I'm trying to think. Trigger Systems. Those are Trigger System sump. It was like the really nice one. I think he paid like $550 for it.
Jesus.
And so he went the same route. No DIY.
It's a lot of what my customers want. So I end up selling a lot of full kits that sell the light, the tank, the stand, and the sump, and all the fittings and everything. Tank already drilled, ready to go. All you gotta do is piece it together and fill her up. Those seem to be becoming a lot more popular. They're a little expensive, yeah, but I mean they look good. There's so many different companies that do it. So many different companies.
Yep.
We actually just got in a custom sump that a customer ordered. It has a custom tank, not a sump. It gets expensive quick, and I think there's actually a price breakdown on that 250 display tank. And I want to say it's like $30,000.
Oh yeah.
With all the apex and everything underneath it. Yeah.
I don't doubt it at all.
My 265, all said and done, including the livestock and stuff, I had close to 65 grand invested into that tank alone.
I think
last time I got one of those kits for a customer, it was about 7 or 8 months ago. It was a 210 with a real nice fitted tank. It was rimless. Came with the lights, sump, all the parts and pieces. That was $8 grand for that whole system.
Yeah.
I think I have about $6 grand into my tank right now overall.
Yeah, that 300 I got at work with all my cores. There's, as it sits right now, right about 20, 25. Right, there's nothing too crazy going on right now.
Yeah. I mean, I had
depends on what corals I have in there at the moment.
That's what I was gonna say. That I had a lot of high-end corals in that tank as well. Like I had an 18-inch diameter colony of 3G mummy eye challenge, the original strain from Cornbread.
It's awesome.
And stuff. And I had 200 polyp colony of Bowser polyps, you know.
That's awesome.
So that there's 10 grams right there.
Right.
Reading about 20. Yes. I'm almost there.
Heck yeah.
Get it down to 10. There's a Lobo at work right now that I've been eyeballing since I started working there. And he's only 120. And he's so beautiful. And I want him. So I'm like, gotta get my nitrates down so I can buy this coral. He's probably about this big.
Nice.
I'll
Yeah,
take a picture of it and post it in the Discord because it's beautiful.
I was kind of doing some research the other night at Duncan, like just what a simple single head is worth. It's about a $7,000 piece at this point.
No, man. Oh, how large it is.
Yeah. That thing is huge. And that's just one piece of coral by itself. The thing's massive.
Yeah, my Duncan colony I had 65 or 70 heads on it.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. All right.
Callaway, you assholes.
Show it in a second. That damn thing's bigger than my head. But yeah, that's
Digging
stupid
the
loud.
elevator.
Yeah, I turned that into a short.
You're good, Brookley. We know that not everybody can stay up till 4 a.m. every night.
Yeah, right.
What time is it?
12:28.
It's 11:28 here, Central.
It's 12:28.
Me. Living in a different state.
I live in the future.
One more thing here before we stop talking about sumps, probably. Plan it all out. Write it all out. Use a piece of pencil and plan it out. Write out some blueprints. It really helps out a lot.
That's what I did. Let's see if I can find my notebook. It's been a while
They
since
even have like blueprint programs where you can digitally plan all this stuff out, which is what I use for work when somebody wants a custom system. So
Yeah, I used to use AutoCAD for some design and stuff like that.
It's a good one. Maybe I use that quite a bit now. Heck yeah, Sarah. Yeah, that Duncan's bigger than my head. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I have a dedicated notebook that I
Handy dandy notebook.
Oh, this is all the fish I thought I was gonna get. I broke down what all the parameters that they prefer. Hey, hello.
What's the most expensive fish either of you have bought?
For a customer,
The hippo tank.
$19,000. Peppermint angel.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What about for yourself?
And that was cheap for a peppermint.
Yeah.
Those things run up to 30, 32.
Yeah, so
for myself, I can't remember what it was, but it was an angel as well. It was $3,000.
I listed all the pieces of equipment that I was going to need, and then every month I would try to buy one piece at a time, and I would check it off.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And then this was for the plumbing. I made a little diagram and then actually measured out how big the pieces were going to need, and then took this to the hardware store, counted out like how many connectors I would need, how many ball valves, how many gate valves.
Yep.
Yeah, here's the actual. Apparently she doesn't like. Apparently she doesn't. Hold on.
You're good.
Apparently, she doesn't like the notebook.
I guess not. I'm assuming it's the paper sound.
Yeah, I think the most expensive fish I ever bought was a gem tang, and it was about a 2-inch juvenile gem tang, and I paid $1,200 for it.
Heck yeah.
I actually bought that the last day of Reefapalooza in New York.
Nice.
There's actually my draw out and all my scribbles from mistakes. But yeah, I'll actually sizing it all out when we were cutting the pipe.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling wooed. Kelly. 250 for an arowana. Right on.
Yoo-hoo.
I can't say every tank has a notebook, but I have extensive plans for all of my more elaborate tanks and then all of my customers' tanks. Every single one of my customers' tanks.
My most expensive was the Hippo Tang. It's actually for my father-in-law, so it was.
Yeah, damn straight you do, Adkins. It helps a lot.
Yeah, Petco sells them for $100 right now. What the fuck kind of bird is that? I brought her on the other night.
It's a pterodactyl.
Right, she's an angry bird right
only
now.
Oscars.
PTRO pterodactyl.
Jesus.
So I'll grab her, see if she wants to come over here really quick.
It's funny.
Want to come here?
I missed the grays that I worked with for a while. I should have never given them off. You ever end up finding a female for your Chihuahua?
No, I don't think I'm going to try to breed him.
Right on.
This is what the fuck kind of bird is.
He's pretty old too. He's not maxed out or anything. He'll be 11 in September. So I mean, they have like a 15-year life expectancy, I believe it is.
Okay.
Yeah, birds are very naughty. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hello.
So does the bird talk?
Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet. Woof. Woof.
Woof.
Woof. Woof, woof.
Mhm.
Yoo-hoo. 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 You do. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. You didn't do it right. There you go.
Goofy ass bird.
Cute.
She posted a short. Was it like last week? The thing was biting her, and she started scratching its neck, and it just closes its eyes and curls its head. It was funny.
Yeah. She's sweet sometimes. What happens when you put your finger in its mouth? She bites you, and her beak's a little bit overgrown, so she's essentially a hole punch.
Sounds legit. Yeah.
Paul, you want a cracker? Right. No, she's a female, so she doesn't talk quite as much as males of her species does.
Those grays would talk constantly. They could say whole sentences and shit. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Those guys, when I got those guys' beaks were so bad, I had to take them into the vet to get them trimmed down.
Yeah, she's due. I have her beak and nails done, taken to the vet to have them dremeled, usually once every 6 months.
Right on. Yeah, these guys could barely even open their mouths. It was so bad.
Mm.
They're really malnourished. It wasn't pretty. They almost died.
Wow.
Had them for a good year and a half or so before I got them back to the point where I was able to rehome them.
Poor guy. But
A male and a female.
Actually, I have a guy that I work with. He has a bunch of blue and red macaws and gold macaws. He has like four of them, and
Nice.
he knows he gets them all from a breeder. But I guess this breeder sells eggs, and you can buy one of the eggs and incubate them and raise them up yourself and stuff. But they're like $200 for an egg for a macaw.
Huh.
Which I don't think is a bad price at all, considering the birds go for like, what, $2,000?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I say good incubators. You can get one for a decent one for like $100.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
have
can make
three
your
of
own
them.
decent one, really simple too.
Yeah, we've got 3 of them that are homemade for incubating snake eggs.
That's what I do for snake eggs and stuff too. And then for like when I get snapping turtle eggs, all I do is get a 5-gallon bucket and go dig up some dirt from my backyard, bury them in said bucket, spray some water in there about once a week, and let them sit for about 7 months.
Well, with bird eggs,
You get common snappers.
What's that? Not usually. I actually see more Florida and alligator snappers than anything. It's
Really?
been years since I've seen a common snapper up here. Years.
I would love to own a common snapper.
They're fun. I like the alligators a bit more.
Yeah, but you're not going to lose a finger if a common snapper bites you.
The fuck you won't.
I would lose fingers
Seen a
because I have
common
tiny
snap
pixie-
right through one of the old thick ass broomstick handles. Snap clean through it. If you
Yeah,
can do that, I'll take your finger off.
I have tiny pixie fingers, so they would bite mine off real easy.
Oh man.
Yeah. But no, bird eggs have to be rotated, and you have to have well, I guess the dirt would is the same with reptile eggs, where they have to maintain a certain humidity.
Yeah, and you use pure light for that,
Yeah.
and a hygrometer to measure the humidity and stuff.
Years ago, at the Petco that I started working at, we actually had 2 veiled chameleons that we had for way too long. They actually mated, and the female got pregnant and egg bound. Actually died on the surgery table as they were trying to get the eggs out.
Okay.
But she actually laid I think like 2 dozen eggs before she got egg bound. So I actually did take them home, and I was incubating them. And it was like 2 weeks before they were supposed to hatch, and my stupid overthinking brain was like, oh, I need to get the habitat set up. And then I took the Tupperware that they were in, and I put it in the habitat, and the humidity got too low, and they dried out.
Aw.
It was like 2 weeks from hatch date, and I was so mad at myself. I was like, I should have just fucking left them alone.
That's awesome, Brooklyn. I don't see them too much anymore just because they're so, like, people fucking eat the shit out of them up here. That's how I end up with most of my eggs. People will come, they'll start gutting the turtle and find a mass amount of eggs, and then I get a phone call.
Yeah.
Then I have to hurry up and drop what I'm doing and rush over there and get them before they get cold.
Yeah.
Or they move them around too much because then I have to sit there and candle every single one of them to see which way they need to sit.
Yeah. Did anybody post any more trivia on the Discord yet?
I don't think so.
You guys were playing trivia on the Discord?
No, I asked everybody in the Discord, which I forgot to until now. I was going to ask everybody here if you could Think of a good fish trivia question and send me a message of the question and the answer. And I'll throw it into some
What is
fish
the
trivia for
smallest
us.
fish in the world?
Yeah.
I was complaining to my boss about that stupid, what's the most consumed fish? And it's like shrimp. And I'm like, I was so mad about it. I was like, it was just sprinkled with those kind of questions. It was so frustrating. But it was still fun. It was still entertaining. It was still fun.
Yeah.
Fucking shrimp are not fish.
Fucking shrimp are not fucking fish.
Oh, no, they're not.
I just had shrimp for dinner and salmon.
Sounds
Salmon's
good.
a fish.
I had Chinese for dinner.
I had bell peppers, some cheese, and some Ritz crackers.
Nice.
I didn't feel like cooking anything.
Dinner champion. Yeah,
And
my wife was cooking dinner when I was down here on Rico's stream earlier.
I need to watch the
Yeah.
playback. I was at work during that stream, so I'll have to watch the playback. Probably
Do it,
tomorrow morning.
Atkins. I need some really good ones. I'm coming up with a bunch myself.
What's that?
Fish
Fish trivia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somebody changed their icon. Jimmy P, or sorry, Stephen P says Jimmy P. What the heck?
I think it's Jennifer. I don't remember seeing that. Maybe I'm just dumb, but I don't remember seeing it.
Stephen thinks all my dinners are sad.
I
I'm tired when I get home.
feel it. Me too.
It's more of I'm just craving things, and then I just don't stop snacking, so it ends up being a dinner.
Understandable.
yeah.
I guess everybody knows we'll go for another half hour here, then I'm gonna call it.
Sounds good to me. I need to we need to do a test on the Cards Against Humanity thing idea, because I think I might be able to use my old laptop, because you don't have to download a program, right, or anything. It's
No,
just
it's
running
just a
on the
website. Yep.
I should be able to do that on my crappy old laptop then.
Should be able to. It's a super simple website.
Yeah.
As long as you got like an old phone. If you only have a mobile device, it'd be difficult to do it. You're gonna have to have like an extra old phone or a different something
Yeah.
to pull this up on. But it does work on PC and mobile.
I'll figure it out.
Unless I got my tablet right here.
Yeah.
Actually, I had it sitting next to me because I figured the lights were gonna turn off, and I would have to turn them back on. So this is my dashboard for all of my Wi-Fi enabled stuff in my fish room and upstairs.
I think the only thing I have on an app for is my gyre.
My
My light is
I
Bluetooth.
don't know if that would be a good one, but sure. We're gonna make some hard ones.
What is the Latin name for bony tongue?
I don't fucking know.
Cottage cheese, salad, and toast. That sounds like my breakfast minus the salad.
Feels sad even typing that.
See you later, Sarah. Have
See you,
fun
Sarah.
packing.
Hey, Myrtle.
Hi,
Hope you're doing well tonight. This morning, we should say.
Good morning, sir.
Winding down here in the last half hour of the stream.
Ugh.
Myrtle, do you have a fish trivia question that you could submit to Brennan?
Now, is it just fish or like aquatic plants?
It could
Just
be about
anything?
plants too. Yep. if it has to do with a fish tank.
I love this onesie, but it's warm. Like, too hot. Pulling up the sleeves and everything. Pull up the pant.
Bulbasaur is one of my favorite Pokemons.
Me too.
What's that?
I said Bulbasaur is one of my favorite Pokemon.
It's got a hood and everything. What's weird is that this onesie has a tail, and I was like, Bulbasaur doesn't have a tail. Like a little nub tail. Same
Weird. Thanks, Jennifer.
We'll see if they're accurate.
Yeah. Just figured everybody would enjoy being a part of that.
Trick questions.
Yeah, bullshit answers.
Specific questions with vague answers.
The grass-like aquatic plant is known to be carnivorous. What is its name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm also not a plant nerd, so I'm not sure.
I can't think right now. For some reason, my brain's not working. But I'm fairly certain I know the answer to it because
What's throwing me off is grass-like.
If it's the plant that I'm thinking of, its roots have little pods that like capture copepods and stuff like that, right? Or Daphnia. Bladderwort. There we go.
Well, that was for the second one. The first one's still unanswered.
I didn't even
No.
see the second one. Oh, okay.
Oh, Kelly got the first one. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that.
Gamifolia.
Interesting.
Bing bong, you're right. Good job. You
Bing bong, fuck your life.
We have a door chime, and it's bing bong. So every time it goes off, just that word, bing bong.
Nice. Just drinking tea.
I didn't fall into the tea trap again tonight. I learned from last night. Don't drink tea.
Like
What kind of
twisted tea or tea in general?
What kind of tea is it?
Oh, just Lipton.
Oh, okay.
This here is a triple IPA.
Nice.
3 philosophers, 9.7% alcohol.
This is water.
I
I got my Danny Weshy sticker on it, along with a bad clownfish and a beta fish.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I got a Neptune Apex sticker on there.
There you go.
It came in with we got some of the dry food in. And there was a sticker in the bottom. I might have gotten a little too excited that there was a sticker in the bottom of it.
Did you steal a sticker,
Got
Gina?
this? Huh?
Did you steal a sticker, Gina?
I did not steal it. Apparently, they come in every Neptune box. They told me, they're like, you're gonna get sick of those stickers. I'm like, you never get sick of stickers. Ever.
So, Reeflink, that's a Neptune product, isn't it?
What's it called?
Reeflink.
Reef Link. If it is, I don't think we have it in the store because I already inventoried all of the Neptune system stuff that we have in the store. But that's not to say that it's not a thing. It's just I haven't seen it, so I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, so that's what I use on my vivarium upstairs. I use
Oh,
a Raspberry Pi that's connected to ReefLink, and ReefLink it runs active weather simulations for lighting and stuff. So you can you can actively run moon cycles and stuff, stuff like that. But I use that to control some of the weather conditions within the vivarium. Like if it's raining and thundering outside, my lights are going crazy with a thunderstorm in the vivarium, and my misters are on, and the little exhaust fans are on, blowing into the tank, and so it's like a little mini storm going on inside the vivarium as well as
that's
outside.
awesome. What if
Pretty
there's a
cool.
tornado? Does it like make a little mini tornado?
Probably not. I would have to get some serious fans in there. Right now, I'm only running two 20 millimeter USB fans for exhaust, pulling air out of the tank, or excuse me, I can switch to polarity and they run backwards and blow air into it.
Nice.
One of the ways I use that to control temperature and humidity within the vivarium.
Just finished off some stinging nettle, lemon balm, chamomile, skullcap tea. I've thought about growing my own, or at least foraging plants to make different teas.
It sounds oddly good.
Yeah. My old harp instructor did that. She had a whole garden of just medicinal herbs and stuff, and she would make her own teas.
I fucking hate nettle.
Yeah.
Only because I got like pricked by them, and when I lived in Scotland, I got pricked by nettle, and that shit is not
It's
fun.
terrible.
That is like the devil's freaking plant there. Like I had like 300 little red dots on my arm that felt like fiberglass pieces in there.
Yep.
My whole arm was swollen and red and itchy and burning, and
I've ran into it a few times going hunting.
yeah. That shit is
Environmental club, we would go on hikes and there would be a field of stinging nettle and the guys would make bets who would run through it over stupid stuff like energy drinks or candy or something. It's like, was it worth it? I'm like, no. Yeah, I know.
Did you know you can make a coffee substitute out of dandelion roots?
Yeah.
I did. You can make honey out of dandelions also.
You can make wine from dandelions as well. I'm waiting for all the dandelions to start popping up so I can make some dandelion mead.
Okay, we already started getting dandelions here.
I was gonna say I've seen a few, but I haven't really seen a whole lot of dandelions yet, which is surprising.
Yeah, we haven't gotten too many yet. But as soon as they start popping up, I'm gonna be picking some of them because I've got a 6 or what is it? I think it's a 32 ounce. I got a 32 ounce jar of blue honey that I made that I'm going to use to make some mead. But I'm gonna do a dandelion and lavender mead with the blue honey.
That sounds awesome.
See if the properties from the blue honey transfer over into the mead. It should be interesting.
For sure.
And if you don't know what blue honey is, it's honey that's infused with psilocybin mushroom.
Oh.
It turns the mushroom spores turn the honey blue because the psilocybin mushrooms leave a purple spore print.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense.
Right? That's what I'm saying, Brooklyn.
Send me some.
I got you. When I make it, we'll see what happens.
Sounds so damn good.
Yeah.
Easy trivia. This small fish is known to jump out of the water to lay its eggs and do certain action to keep them hydrated. What is this fish's name? I don't fucking know.
Mystery snail.
Right?
Oh, we're going by the standards of last night's trivia, are we?
Right. I don't know.
Splashing tetra is one guess.
Fish, not snail. Myrtle, that's because last night's trivia, Misfit found a page just full of questions and answers like that. It was funny.
Myrtle, one of the questions was, what's the most consumed fish around the world? And the answer was shrimp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks like it was the splash tetra.
What fish am I staring at right now? I'm going to say a guppy.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Bosemani.
guppies.
Rainbows.
Yeah, guppies or rainbows. Or both. All of the above. All the fish.
I said Bosemani to start it off.
Yeah, Brooklyn, that answer was bullshit.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of rainbow fish he has, so I can't guess a specific rainbow fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I said was Bosemani. I was like, wait, maybe I should be a little more vague. Let's go with rainbow. I'm gonna go with a Dojo Loach Kelly. Just because. Or a channel cat.
Pleco, all it does is eat and poops.
So our lake house is actually not that far from Bagnell Dam, which is where not the current world record channel cat was caught, but I guess now it's in like second or third place. And it's because they just sit at the dam, and when the dam floodgates open, they just open their mouth, and all the crap just they don't have to do anything, just sit there and eat. And they get massive. And I've thought about trying to fish there, but then I remember there's probably a 600-pound catfish down there. And I'm like, nope.
Fucking do it. What do you mean, no?
But these weak little girly arms, no thank you.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't about the arm strength. It's all about leverage.
Yeah. So you've got another 15 minutes here, guys. And I'm probably going to go hang out in Discord for a bit again tonight just because. So if anybody would like to go hang out and chit-chat in Discord.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll did you send me that link, or do I got to go back through a replay?
I'll send it
All right.
right now.
Cuckoo.
I was checking the Discord earlier and my coworker laughed. She's like, "You're on Discord?" I'm like, "Don't fucking judge me. Go away."
Discord's great.
I'd be like, you're not? Ew.
Got it, Myrtle. Fat, lazy, and poops a lot. Yep. Misfit has a Discord. So far, it's been like a couple watch parties and a lot of meme posting.
Oh, yeah.
And fish talk.
I just emailed it to you. Kenny?
Cool. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Low key Misfits Discord is fun. Low key.
Oh, shit hasn't even started in there yet.
Right? Ugh.
I don't know. I honestly don't know if I'm gonna do much after the stream. I might go upstairs and wind down.
Understandable.
I had a long day of fucking doing concrete work at my mom's house for redoing her foundation on her house and shit.
Okay.
Pumping 80-pound bags of concrete isn't fun. But I gotta get back into it anyway because I'll be going back to work in 3 weeks or something like that. So
Right.
eating in large quantities, it's deadly. What plant is it?
Oh, shit.
I'm still so proud that I got my nitrates down. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Now I can start buying corals at work soon. So excited. I was thinking about soon taking all my rock out carefully, putting them in buckets, and trying to catch my 2 jerkfish. So I can get some.
Jerkfish.
Yeah, my 6-line wrasse and my neon blue damsel.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I even knew better than to add them, and I freaking did it anyway. Because the 6-line was tiny, so I was like, "Oh, it's just a little guy. He'll be fine." Nope, it was not fine.
Oh no, that's Steven. That's don't be a dick within reason.
Right. Sarcasm is allowed,
Yeah,
but bullying is not.
sarcasm is mandatory.
Yes.
I haven't decided what day would be best for me to do the watch party every week.
Yeah, I don't know. It was nice though. I was cleaning all my makeup brushes, so that's probably what I'll do. It'll be my designated makeup brush cleaning day.
Yeah. Before I forget,
I had to get some more plants under control in the tank behind me yesterday.
so we're gonna be doing some Cards Against Humanity really soon.
Yes.
Not this weekend, but next weekend.
So excited.
This is who I've asked so far. If they can make it, they'll be there. So far from what everybody said. So,
Fun.
it should be really fucking fun.
Even just to watch, even if you don't participate, it's gonna be so much fun.
Really awesome group of people.
Well, speaking of plants, one of my, Myrtle's in here talking about plants a lot, and one of my my mermaid weed is turning red at the top, the part that's currently immersed from the water, turning bright red, which is cool.
That's cool.
Right on. Yeah, so far I've got it planned out for the 7th. at 11:30 Eastern, which is like 8:30 Pacific Standard. But yeah.
Wait,
pretty
you
good
said
old time.
7:30?
What's that?
You said 7 or 7:30 your time?
Oh, it'd be 11:30 my time.
Oh, okay.
11:30 my time.
That's gonna be 6 o'clock my time, and I'll still be at work.
It's Saturday night.
Really?
Yep, Saturday night.
See this guy right here? I don't know if you can tell it's red, but it's red.
But,
Yeah.
well, this ain't the only time, Adkin, because there's a few people that I asked that weren't able to. For sure. And I mean, I want them up there too. So we're doing it more than once.
I was gonna say, I'm sure it's gonna be a reoccurring thing.
Oh, yeah.
Snail.
I just have to go in and make
Snail.
an overlay so that way the chat and you guys can't read my cards.
Oh yeah. No cheating.
No cheating.
I gotta tinker with it a bit. I gotta get it all pulled up in StreamYard and then pull up my image maker and figure the fuck out.
Did you ever play around with it to figure out how to make it a private stream? Or
No,
age
not yet. That's what I'm planning on doing tonight after I get off of here. I know Steven said you can for sure, so I just gotta find it. I definitely, because the shit that this game says, man, wow.
Yep.
I even put it in the thumbnail, adults only.
I remember at first that it used to be apples to apples, and then Cards Against Humanity came out and just blew it out of the water.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
I have apples to apples right up there.
It's a fun game too.
Yep.
Just not as dirty
No.
or racist.
No. Yeah.
Cards Against Humanity can be very messed up. That's why it's called Cards Against Humanity.
This plant is growing like crazy. I mean, this piece in particular has grown about 8 inches in the last week.
Oh
Get out the
wow.
way.
It's like food? Food?
Get out of here.
Food?
Yeah, and it's all the way up to the surface of the water right now, but it comes down and then wraps and goes all the way to the back of the tank. So it's probably, I want to say that stem right there is probably 28 to 30 inches long.
That's awesome. Somebody's not shy today.
Yeah, oh no, they're never shy. Hey guys. Hey, what you doing? Food?
Sarah's asking, will the live stream be members only?
Well, I'm not monetized, so no.
Huh, there you
go. But it will be set to adults only, so when you come in, you'll have to like type in your age or some form of that to be able to enter it.
How long until one of them bites my finger?
Right.
I did. I just booped the bluegill on his nose.
Did you guys see my stingray short where I was booping them? They do that all day. They go against along the glass, and sometimes they splash. Like I'll be walking past it, all of a sudden they like splash half the tank water up, and I'm like, God,
Oh
fucking calm down.
I used to keep freshwater stingrays when I had my 300-gallon Amazonian tank.
They're
Yeah.
cool. They're super cool.
I love stingrays.
Yeah.
I think they're actually technically skates, but close enough.
Have a good night, Kelly. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Night, Kelly.
Rock bass. Like the little tiny guy in the big tank.
Aw. He's so cute.
He's only about 2 inches, and then these guys are all 4 to 6 inches. Like he's probably 6.5 inches. Maybe even bigger. I don't know.
Right? Some of them are very, very friendly. Heck yeah, Melissa. Teacups are my favorite.
Teacup stingrays, aka reticulated rays.
Yep. We got another few minutes here, then I'm going to be calling it, guys.
Which, fun fact, they're not actually teacup. They're called teacup because they're usually sold when they're only like a month old.
Yep.
And they get, I believe reticulated rays get to 14 to 16 inch diameter when they're fully grown.
I've never really seen them larger than a foot. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Like I said, I'm going to be hanging out in Discord for a bit after I get off here. Come and hang out with me. It'd be pretty fun. More people, the merrier. It was just me and like 2 other people last night. It's still pretty fun, but we need more people. So come and hang out.
Okay, you can take me down now. My arm's getting tired.
Fine.
And I'm going to head out.
All right, man. Thanks for coming up and hanging out with me.
Yeah, no
Chit-chat
problem.
about sumps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole 15 minutes we talked about sumps was great.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's only so much you can talk about.
I said I was going to be pretty vague about it. Defer
Yeah.
a lot of it back to my other stream I did about sumps.
A lot of good information regardless.
I just figured, hey, why not have some other people and bounce some stuff off of?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, everybody have a good night. People's in the chats, have a good night. And I'll catch y'all in another stream tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right. Good night.
Night.
Yeah. Besides that, I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. If you could leave a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Besides that, I don't really have much else to say. Appreciate everybody hanging out. We had a good crowd, 15, 20 people in here the whole time. So, oh yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Anybody ever needs to get a hold of me, you know where to find me. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Yeah. Hey, Madrill, you have to figure it out. I'm going to call you Madrill forever. Yep. No problem, Steven. Have a good night, Mississippi hippie, Brooklyn. I'll catch y'all later. Come hang out in Discord if you want. Bye.
Bye.